Hello viewers, welcome to this week's edition of VERITAS Half Hour. VERITAS Half Hour is a weekly television program where we discuss academic excellence and quality formation at VERITAS University, Abuja. My name is Cyril Ole. In this week's edition, we are looking at a small group of health workers. They are not really health professionals, but the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Ichoku, has inaugurated a small group that will sensitize other people to do more research on health-related issues on campus. And so today, that inauguration is what we'll bring you. Please keep viewing.
If you must survive that way, how long will you live? If you are living in squalor in the ghetto, it also determines how you survive, whether you survive or die. Our studies show that the lifespan of people who are in the lowest echelon of life, society, always have the probability of their survival is less than half the probability of people who are the high echelon. Take, for example, the child mortality issues. It just depends on where do you live. Okay? Well, if you live in Ogun State, the possibility of a child born in Ogun State surviving is more than 3 times the probability of a child born in Yobe State. Are you following? Right. That's fine. That's it. That's as simple as that. So it is not about. It's not predetermined. It's not predetermined. Okay? If you are in Anambra, if you are in Anambra, for example, the probability that you will suffer malnutrition is less than half compared to somebody who is in Katsina State. Right. Check it up in these are statistics now everywhere. Surveys everywhere. So it all depends on where you live. So these are social issues. Social issues that determine who lives and who dies. So it is an applied research field that by definition engages with policy analysis, the process of policy making, okay? And then of course analysis for policy. Analysis for policy in the sense that you have to study and analyze the phenomena for the sake of feeding information for policy makers. So it also focuses on policy contents and intervention. What are the policy contents? What are the interventions? And processes of policy decision making. Policy decision making. Who makes the policy? There's a lot we can study in this area. So it is not just. It's not a very. So this is the interaction. This is the cutting edge of health policy and health system research. You have policy and practice. That's the one circle. Then you have public health and clinical sciences, one session. Then you have social sciences, one session. Then you have SPSR. That is at the center, intersection of all these. So that's why it is multidisciplinary. That's why it is interdisciplinary. So that we can always, we belong to, there is a lot of intersections, between all these. So I think I will end here. So both research, I will describing the system, you can spend your research energy just describing the systems. You can also spend your research energy on how the system changes and how it works and how the changes have come to be. I think these are the scope of the health system research, or health policy system research. So you can see, here you have health system hardware. Okay, you're talking about structure, the hospital, for example, technology, resourcing, and then you have software, tangible, structures and processes and systems, and then intangible, relationships, communication, values, and norms. And then at the same time, you have, the other side, you have, global and national forces, health policy, contents and instruments and actors and powers and polities and institutions and interests and ideas. Now interacting with him, and then that's what gives us the policy change and health system development. So one side, health systems, the other side, health policy issues, and then their interaction, health policy responding to change. Okay, so that is just that. So the idea is that we have a frame, a scope of issues. One, this is more or less of politics. You know, that's why politics is everywhere. Politics is very important. So policy, health policy is always involved, it's always about power and struggle for power, and then institutions and interests and ideas. Then here you have this health system hardware, structures, hospitals, technology, and then tangible structures and processes. And then you have intangible relationships and communication and values. Okay, so that is it. I think I will stop here. So health policy research is not about, it's not clinical or, it's not basic science. You guys, these people are basic science people. They go to the lab and tell us, do experiments, to generate information about molecules and diseases and all that. But this is not about clinical, it's not about basic sciences. But it's only rooted in health economics or focus on financing issues, and then focus on distribution, causes, interventions, and all that. So those are just the issues that we are dealing with here. So I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much for your attention.
I want to talk to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ichoku, about today's event. Prof, how do you domesticate all this that you have said in Veritas University?
What we have done is actually to introduce people to health policy systems research, and to begin a nucleus of researchers in that area. It's more or less a new thing in Veritas University, and we want to build a capacity of some people who are interested and who are committed, who are willing and enthusiastic about building their capacity in research in this area, because it is quite, it's an upcoming area and a lot of activities are happening in that area. Policy issues, health system issues, becoming a becoming some very, very important, gaining important attention and momentum. And so we want to build our capacity of our staff to be able to write research proposals and gain from funding that are, getting into that section. It's an area that the international community, international agencies are very, very keen to fund, to be able to help improve the health system of the country. And when you talk about the health system, you're not just looking at the Ministry of Health. You're talking about the human resources of the, in the health sector. You're talking about health financing system in the country. You're talking about the products, medicines, and all that, the distribution issues. You are talking about governance issues in the health system and all that. So those are the areas that we need to really base our policies, our health system policies on research. And we need people who can generate information. People who can actually generate information, for policy making and for policy makers, so that our policies in these areas are informed by research and evidence. So that's basically what we are trying to do. It doesn't have to be a crowd. It doesn't have. We just need a few people who have commitment to be able to build their capacity in this area.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, you talked about insurance. Is the management looking at the possibility for insurance scheme for students and staff of the university?
Oh, definitely. We already have an insurance scheme. The Salus Trust, it covers our students. So every student in the university is health insured.
Okay.
So whenever you need health care, you go to the clinic. If you don't have, if it's beyond what the clinic can handle, you are referred to our partner hospitals,
Okay.
or which have been identified by Salus Trust, HMO, Health Management Organization.
Yeah.
So they cover us here.
Okay.
So we pay premium to them, and they cover our students and cover, and some staff are also members.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we do.
Finally, Prof, how often do you think this group should be meeting?
It doesn't have to be a meeting, a talking thing. It's to ginger people, to motivate people to commit to doing research.
Okay.
So once after this meeting, they should be able to go and begin to read. First of all, read and generate ideas, health system research ideas, and so they will be able to begin to do their own research and network with other people within the university, outside the university, internationally, people who are doing research in that area. There are a lot of networks that one can belong to. There are always calls for proposals. There are always calls for letters of intent, for research proposals, and so on. So there are a lot of organizations wanting to put their money into this area that people can benefit. So once they begin, they will be able to see that they are part of a global community working in the health sector, and they are able to benefit, leverage on experiences of other people, and be able to also improve themselves and improve their income also from research.
Thank you, Prof. We've been talking with the Vice Chancellor of Veritas University, Abuja, Professor Hyacinth Ementa Ichoku. Prof, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Perspectives are being reflected. And when you go to market, people can see themselves what are being prepared. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, next one. So what is the study purpose? The normative or evaluative purpose seeks to generate or identify norms, best practices of the so-called gold standard interventions. The exploratory one is to find out what is happening, especially in little understood situations. If we are doing an implementation research, usually the first one will be explore, that is baseline. The baseline survey, you want to explore what's on ground. Then descriptive is to give accurate profiling of people, events, or situations. Explanatory is to explain patterns relating to phenomena being researched, but identify the relationship between aspects of a phenomenon. Then emancipatory is to create opportunities and the will to engage in social action. This is adapted from the mind crops, this one. So from purpose to question form, normative impact, is it best, what is best practice? Exploratory, what or more? What new insight do we have? Descriptive, who, what, where, how many, how much? Or explanatory, how, why, and how? The intersections between them. So this is the action of participatory research. They are all part of those action of participatory research. Just means that it's not one person's work. You have to be able to accept different perspectives, worldviews, inductive and deductive reasoning from different stakeholders. So that aspect of multidisciplinarity, multisectoriality, to be part of it. Of course, when you talked about health system, a system is not only made by chemistry alone.
So we have also today at this program Dr. Emmanuel Okechukwu. Dr. Emmanuel Okechukwu is the health secretary of the Catholic Bishops Conference of Nigeria. He works at the Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria. It's okay. So, Doctor, thank you for attending today's program. Yes. We want you to throw more light for us on today's program at Veritas University, Abuja.
Thank you very much. I'm excited at the event, which is the inauguration of the Health Policy and Health Systems Research Group.
Okay.
It's actually an integral part of what we call the Health and Development Research Group of Veritas University. Okay. It's a unique and exciting because It's a forum that hopes to incubate idea generators and idea managers.
Okay.
Those who are going to be interested in pursuing different forms of research. Research is where the world is going. Research is where the world is. And that Veritas University is inaugurating this today means Veritas is stepping forward to be part of the global players. Why? Ideas rule the world. And ideas come through research, through study, and through learning. And that's what Veritas encompasses. And I'm happy to be part of it.
I heard you talk about your experiences in Geneva, your experiences in so many other places. You have worked under some NGOs. And then what comes to my mind is, how do we really encourage government to develop health policies, to remove all the hurdles, and allow local production of drugs and medication?
Thank you. It's a very important question. But again, where is the capacity? Our people have to build the capacity, have to show the interest, the passion, the commitment to make it happen. And I think that with what Veritas is starting today, or has started today, once you can have a critical mass of passionate people who are committed to pursuing this happen, it will happen, because it's going to be a movement that is driven by energy of knowledge. Knowledge rules the world. And if we go with knowledge, we can do the advocacy, evidence-based advocacy. We hope to succeed.
Some of us are actually worried that each time there is a pandemic or an epidemic, it shifts attention from existing sicknesses and illnesses. I mean, HIV came, we forgot about malaria. Ebola came, we forget about HIV.
Yes.
Now, coronavirus is here. Nobody is talking about Ebola, nobody is talking about malaria, nobody is talking about all the other sicknesses that are with us. How do we make sure that each time there is an epidemic or pandemic, we do not lose focus of the existing health crisis we have in Nigeria?
Very important question. But I can tell you, it's all manifestations of our uncoordinated system.
Okay.
If we had a system that is resilient, resilient systems should be able to absorb all the shocks, be it epidemic, be it pandemic, be it accident, emergencies. A system that is resilient, that is coordinated, that is integrated, that is functional, we accommodate all these shocks of life.
Can we have knowledge of a single reality that is independent of the knower?
No. Dr. Tusino Lushala is of Economics Department, but he is coordinating the group that has just been inaugurated today by the Vice Chancellor. Doc, what is the importance of this group?
Well, this group is supposed to essentially champion health policy and systems related research in Veritas University, bearing in mind the fact that as a partner to the National Observatory Group for Nigeria, the institution needs to build our own domestic capacity, as well as strengthen, research in health systems and policy research in this institution. So that's why this group is of immense purpose to, first of all, meet part of that mandate, and then also strengthen, the area of research in these fields. Okay,
do you envisage a partnership between Veritas University Abuja and maybe some donor agencies or international linkages arising from this inauguration?
Absolutely. I believe a lot of opportunities are bound for the country and for the university, in particular, leveraging on the fact that research outputs from this group, will further, project the institution in a very good light, and more or less also position her as a critical solution provider to critical national issues, especially as they relate to the health systems in Nigeria.
Talking about policy issues, how do we get the school management to ensure that they put in place good policy issues, good policies that will also help for the implementation of our health research on campus?
Well, just like you have said now, a lot of, as always have been emphasized by the Vice Chancellor of the university, that, the core mandates, especially for academic staff of the university, is research. Is research, research, and research. And because that's a core mandate, the institution is providing, robust enabling environments to especially our academic staff to be able to engage in research beyond just encouraging, like we're having this kind of sensitization workshop and creating this sub-research group. Beyond that, the school is also giving incentives, to academics who have published, especially in high impact factor journals. In fact, the last public event we had, in the school, presentations were made, to scholars who have published in high impact factor journals. And that's just one of the way of incentivizing academic staff and encouraging them, to go into this area of research. So I believe that the university already has it as a strategic priority to develop the capacity of our academic staff. So talking about what they are doing, I think they are already doing a lot in this regard. And I'm sure the school is committed, as resources are available, to also further strengthen research in this area. One area I also look forward to is in the future where we have domestic fund created strictly for research purposes that academic staff can also pull from, to further strengthen their research endeavors.
Thank you, Dr. Lucia, for talking to us.
Thank you very
We
much.
wish you
It's my
success
pleasure.
in putting this together.
Thank you
for
so
talking
much.
to us.
Thank
Even the medical products we have just talked about, medical products, why distribution is also a big issue.
Okay, Ibe Emanuela is one of the participants at the workshop. Please tell us your impression about this health workshop today.
Well, I was really impressed because personally I am interested in neglected tropical diseases, and that's one of the diseases that affect us in Nigeria, where people have diseases that the rich feel they are not interested in because they are not affected by it, and that's where policy and all the system comes in. So I'm really interested in this research.
Talking about policy issues, you just mentioned policy.
Yes,
What do you think about the policy hurdles that are making it impossible for us to grow drugs and medications locally?
Corruption.
All right.
I feel corruption is the basic. Most times we look at the wealthy ones.
All right.
Basically, maybe if I want to have a company and all, I might not have all it takes, or better still, I'm not well connected. So it's really, corruption is one thing that affects the health system.
So what do you say to the Veritas University community, particularly the management, for putting this together?
Well, I say they did a great job because we have a lot to do. As long as our health is concerned, we have a lot to do. We have a lot of work. We are located in the poor area of Abuja, where there are so many people living in interior places, hard to reach areas.
All right.
So we have a lot to do as an institution to help develop.
Thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome, sir.
I've gone online to check also. What I saw dominantly is health policy and systems research, which is wider and broader in
Dr. Gabriel Ayogo is of the Public Administration Department of Veritas University, Abuja. He also took part in today's seminar. Doctor, assess this seminar that they have, the VC inaugurated today. Do you think it has relevance to the university community?
Yes, absolutely, because it has really exposed us to a number of opportunities as researchers. And I believe that it will help us individually and the university at large. Because if we are able to put into practice this seed being sown today, it will generate, to add revenue base of the university funding and all that. And it will expose the researchers, the lecturers, especially the young ones, to opportunities even outside this place. I think it's a welcome development.
How do we make this sensitization trickle down to the entire university community? I mean, looking at the very small group that we are inaugurated today, how do we make what they have told us now to trickle down to the rest of the community?
Okay, I think the organizers have done a good job. The participants were drawn from every department. I think as a representative of the department, we can go back to the department and share our experience to them. can share experience with them, and we take it off from there. I think it's a very good arrangement because most departments are represented.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can spread, disseminate the information.
Thank you, Dr. Ayog, for talking to us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's important we give us opportunity to just maybe do a brief introduction of ourselves and our various departments where we come from.
Dr. Cyril, Mass Communication Department.
Good morning, Dr. Fusutenege, Mass Communication Department.
Dr. Uchenna, Chemistry Department.
Flora Goanya, Biochemistry Department.
Isa Benjamin for Chemistry Department.
Dr. Gabriel Ayogo from Public Administration Department.
Ibe Emanuela, Biotechnology and Environmental Biology.
Teresa Olushola from Biotechnology and Environmental Biology.
Francis Okora for Economics.
And it's only Economics.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel. My father's name is my public education.
Thank you, viewers, for watching Veritas Half Hour this week. This week, we brought you an episode on the inauguration of a small group at Veritas University, Abuja, known as the Health Policy and System Research Group, which will embark on writing researches on various health aspects for the university. We thank you for investing your time with us, and please watch a fresh edition of Veritas Half Hour next week. My name is Cyril Ole. Thank you for watching.